writers, today I'm talking about the top 5 signs that it's time for you to write your memoir. This video is video 2 in a series I'm doing to launch my new class, which is happening in June, called Memoir Writing for Everyone. In the first video that I released just a couple days ago, I talked about one of the big signs that will happen to writers when it's time to write their memoir. And that's that when they're writing fiction, if they're writing a novel or even a short story, the main character starts to turn into them. In that video, I talked about how this is different than basing the main character on you. This is like the main character actually begins to turn into you and is exhibiting your thoughts and your feelings. And you're pulling not on just your life experience, but very particular memories are showing up in this fictional work. There are other signs that occur when it's time for you to write your memoir. And a lot of these signs are ignored by writers because the writers don't understand that this is a sign. In fact, a lot of the time the writer is annoyed by whatever is happening and is trying to push it away. So I'm going to go through these top 5 signs that it's time for you to write your memoir. Number 1, journaling old memories over and over again. This is a really, really common one. A lot of writers get annoyed by this because they want to have a regular journaling practice. Journaling feels really good to them. But whenever they sit down and they're doing their journaling practice, they are journaling about the same old memories over and over again. And they might be feeling the same anger or the same sorrow coming up. And it doesn't seem like they're really working through it. It doesn't seem like anything's really being released. They're just sort of going around and around in a circle. And these writers will say to me, I'm sick of journaling about the past. I'm sick of writing about it. I don't want to look at these old memories anymore. I feel like I'm just whining on the page. This is very common for writers to say, I feel like I'm whining. Why can't I get over this? This is a big sign that writing this in a private space has become not enough. And it's time to take this to the world. It's time to share this work. It's time to put it in book form, in a narrative form, as a memoir is, and really share this with a larger audience. Number 2 is if you've gone through a very difficult or hard life experience and you felt like your side of that story was never told. So this is really common for people who had tough childhoods, abusive childhoods. Maybe they had a parent who was a narcissist and the world saw one side of that parent, but you growing up, you saw the true face of that parent. So maybe everybody said, your mom was the perfect mother, and inside you're like, my mom was horrible to me and there was so much pain in my childhood. So your side of the story was never told, and the side of the story that the world saw is not accurate. You were never allowed to speak your truth. That's another big sign that it's time to write your memoir. Number 3 is your side of the story was told, but it was dismissed. So again, something big happened to you, something intense, something really difficult or hard or unjust or corrupt, and you did tell your side of the story. Maybe you told your side of the story in court. Maybe you told your side of the story to family and friends, but you were either not believed or you were ignored or you were dismissed. If that is still festering inside of you, that's another big sign that it's time to tell the world your side of the story. Number 4 is you went through that big hard experience and you learned a lot, and you know what you learned, you know the wisdom you gleaned from it could really help other people, and you feel a calling to help other people in that way. You feel a really deep pull to sort of look at your experience and pull out the insights and teachings and give that to the world so it can be of help to people who are going through the exact same thing. Number 5 is you just keep coming back around to the idea. Maybe you're trying to get away from it. Maybe you've decided I'm going to write poetry or I'm going to finish my novel. I don't know about this memoir thing, but it just keeps popping up. It just keeps nagging at you. No matter how much you push it away, it just keeps coming back around. And you might be saying, I don't have any experience. I don't have the writing skills. I don't even know how I would publish this. I'm not even sure I want to share these memories. I feel really weird about that. So there might be all sorts of conflicting feelings and weird mindsets that are happening to you, but it just keeps coming back around and you know you can't really get away from it. That's number 5. So these are all clear signs that it's time for you to write your memoir. What really gets in the way is the fear and the doubt. And so many writers run into fear and doubt when they even think about writing their memoir, even though they know deep in their soul it's something they have to do. So in my new class in June, we're not going to be just looking at how to write a memoir and how to structure it and how to get through the first draft and how to edit. We are going to be looking at all of that stuff, but not only that stuff. We're also going to be addressing the fear and the self-doubt and the feelings of overwhelm and the confusion and the heightened amount of self-care you need to do while writing a memoir. So we're going to be looking at the logistics, the actual like how to build this thing, how to create this thing, and we're going to be looking at the emotional side. What does it feel like to write a memoir, and how can we take care of ourselves while we get through it? How can we really support ourselves? How can we show compassion to ourselves as we go through this extremely intense process of writing a memoir? In my next video, I'm going to be talking about some of that fear and doubt. I'm going to be talking about how to get past the fear of starting, which is one of the biggest fears for people who are ready to write a memoir. It's the fear of starting. I'm going to talk about that in video 3. In the meantime, if you have questions about the class, about pricing or scheduling, what's included, please contact me. You can email me. You can use the contact form on my website. You can drop a comment in the comments box below. And please subscribe to my newsletter to get all the updates on the class and more. And please subscribe to this channel. If you're thinking about writing a memoir, you're in the middle of writing a memoir, if you're writing a novel, if you're just writing, or if you're not writing at all but you want to write, I do lots of videos on all of this kind of stuff. And they are very helpful to people who are intuitive, introverted, empathic, INFJ, INFP personality type. So if this is you, it's really going to resonate with you, and it's really going to be helpful for you as you figure out your own writing process. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. I'll see you next time.